How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're talking about Ridestock or Lordstown Motors because they had some really important news yesterday that sent them up 26%. So I'm going to go over that. I'm going to talk to you about what this means going forward, and I will apologize ahead of time. There are people working above me on the floor. That million would pull up the So it might be a little bit loud, but I will try my best to make it very clear for you guys, and hopefully it is worth the annoyance. So if you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Also, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can check out the link down below to WeBull and get some free stock there. Just deposit $100. It does mean a lot to me and to the channel, so definitely check that out. So Lordstown went up 26% yesterday, and some people were wondering why. Some people saw this, but they came out with a press release, and they are on track to begin production on the Lordstown Endurance in September 2021. So there are a lot of big points in here that we have to hit on. First of all, the CEO said, "We continue to make significant progress across all fronts, and we are excited to reveal these developments with the investment community and future customers today." So, Lordstown Motors has received approximately 50,000 non-bonding production reservations. So, if you don't know, Lordstown works with fleets. They do not sell on an individual basis like Tesla. They are selling to fleets, and the average order size is approximately 500 vehicles per fleet. So there is something that you have to take note of. It says average, right? It's not median. So what does this mean? Well, if we had one order for 1 million and then 500 orders for 100, that million would pull up the average fleet size. So that is something to take into consideration. These could be canceled, but they are fleets, so I think there's less of a likelihood for that to happen, because what business owner would go out their way to spend this time to maybe test drive the vehicle or just to order these and then not go through with it? I'm sure there's some that are not going to go through, but I'd be surprised if 50,000 didn't go through. I think we'll get a pretty good number of these that actually are ordered. And 50,000 of these vehicles at $50,000 a piece is a significant amount of money. That's equivalent to about $2.5 billion worth of revenue. So even if we only get part of that to go through, that would be a significant amount, because our market cap is only $3.7 billion. So $2.5 billion worth of revenue is a lot. This also says this does not include any orders from these types of government organizations such as federal, state, and municipal governments and military fleets. They are not able to place pre-orders, apparently. So this is pretty exciting. They say that they are expected to begin in September 2021 with full production ramping up throughout 2022. They are saying that they're also building and testing Alpha 2 prototypes, which will be used for crash engineering and validation testing. They're expecting to increase their internal headcount to 500 individuals by the end of 2020, so basically doubling where they are now, and to 1,500 employees by the end of 2021. So that is also pretty exciting. Just seeing them increase the number of heads and be able to increase that workforce to ramp up production is really important. That means that they're really trying to produce more, and they're not just all talk. They are actually hiring employees, spending money to get this going. You can see here too, they're actually opening a new facility for research and development in Farmington Hills. This is actually in my home state. They're actually going to move here because of the talent that is around the city of Detroit. They're hoping to be able to use some of that to help their R&D and to help them grow. And you can see here they're going to open a service center in California. That way they can actually service a lot of the SoCal fleets that they're going to sell to, which I think is a good step. Not only are they adding more people, not only are they adding a new facility in Michigan for R&D, not only are they adding a service center, they're doing all of this around the same time, in addition to having all those pre-orders. I think that's really encouraging going forward, and it makes me feel good as a shareholder. They're also going to begin construction on a 700,000 square foot battery pack and hub motor production facility at their headquarters in Lordstown. So they are keeping this in-house here. I think this is a good step going forward. Obviously, they are willing to spend a lot of capital to start all these different locations. And then they just go through some of the individuals that they've promoted. Overall, I think this is really encouraging. You can see the stock's down a little bit here in the pre-market, but overall, I would say this is a great step going forward for Lordstown. I think that they're doing a lot of the things they need to do, and personally, I would actually like to invest more in them. I don't feel like I have enough money in them right now, but I would like to invest more. And seeing these types of this type of initiative from the company, I mean, compared to something like Workhorse, where Workhorse has had a lot of positive press releases and a lot of stuff that they're working on, but they haven't been able to increase production. They haven't been able to expand like Lordstown is planning on expanding. I think this is really exciting, and it's something that I'm going to stay on the lookout for over the coming days. I might have to invest more in Lordstown and in Ride stock. Workhorse does own 10% of the company, so I think that they're also benefiting from this, from the fact that Lordstown is going to do very well, and that's one of the reasons that I invested in Workhorse personally, is just because I knew that they had 10% of Lordstown also. And just looking at the share price, I know that we're at $3.72 billion, which is significantly more than it was yesterday, but with $2.5 billion in pre-revenue, that's pretty significant that we're still at this low price, for the fact that if you look at a price to sales ratio, right? Let's say we only get half of that $2.5 billion worth of revenue. Let's say we get $1.25 billion. Let's say we're able to get that over 2 years, let's say. Let's say we're able to produce over 2 years. That's about $600 million worth. And if we sell at a price to sales ratio of, let's say, 15, so that's similar to a company that I just followed and just made a video on yesterday called Teladoc. That's a pretty high price to sales ratio, but they are looking at ramping up production. It's lower than some of these other EV companies that we've seen in China. Let's say it's just a price to sales ratio of 15. At $600 million a year, that would send us to a $9 billion market cap, which would send us up significantly from where we are now, over 100%. So I realize that that is something that hasn't happened yet, and that's something that is projected. That could change depending on how much of that revenue we actually get, and then how long it takes us to produce all those vehicles. But that is something that is very exciting to think about, right? So that is where I am thinking about Lordstown right now. I am really excited about the company. I'm probably going to buy more here soon. It's just a question of how much and when. So let me know what you think about Ride in the comments below. Let me know if you're buying it or selling it, or what you're doing now that's up 27%. Also, if you want to see that video from yesterday where I talk about Teladoc, definitely check out this video here. It is a very interesting company, and ARK Invest just bought $40 million worth in one day. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in this video right here. Bye.